Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we are experiencing the largest transfer of wealth in human history. We'll be talking to the co-founders of a private equity firm who are going to weigh in on that next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show. Well, I'm sure you've heard about this, the largest transfer of wealth in human history. You have all these baby boomers who are exiting the workforce and passing on their wealth to the millennials and the Gen Zs. But often you have a Gen Z who is not interested in mom and dad's business. And so you need private equity firms to come in there and sort this all out. I can't think of better guests to talk about this than Francoise Mattice and Hart. They're with Millbank Capital. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, I want you to share your backgrounds because I think you both have a lot of experience in the industry, and the way that you complement each other is really profound. So, Francoise, do you want to start?
Yes, I spend most of my time in working in big international companies for 17 years, and then decided to help private companies, startup, exit preparation, and scaling these companies for growth. And I decided most recently to work for myself after I worked for several PE groups. Mm-hmm. And as such, I met with Carl in a M&A presentation, and we immediately found some common grounds. We're both Europeans.
I was going to say Paris, Texas, but maybe
no. Yeah, Paris, Texas could be a good place if you want to discover another side of Paris. No, I'm French originally, and
sure.
I lived in the U.S. for 37 years now. So
outstanding. Okay, Carl, you also have an accent, so you have to explain where you're from.
Yeah, my accent is from the UK. Okay. I've recently relocated to the US from London.
Nice.
Across the last decade or so, I essentially worked as a fixer for a lot of private clients and high net worth individuals across the secondary markets. So dealing with real estate, precious metals, across various assets in terms of being able to provide them with investment opportunities. And I kind of understood the timing in terms of where the world is currently at the moment and where it's going. And I felt it was the right time to strategically come here to Texas, in Dallas particularly, to build out our firm, our private equity company, to really start taking pole position in terms of the wealth transfer that I've been seeing happening. Having worked with high net worths over the last decade or so, I'm seeing majority of my clients get into their twilight years where they want to now pass on that wealth, not just the wealth, also the information that they have over to a much younger generation. So understanding where we are globally, and this is not just happening in business, it's also in politics as well. You can see that through, you might be very, very familiar with Rupert Murdoch having stepped down, 9 months ago.
Yep.
Same thing with a few other major titans of the world now bequeathing their companies and their businesses and their empires to the younger generation.
Sure.
So we extrapolating on that and ultimately want to take pole position where we can start to consolidate all of that wealth of over $30 trillion is being passed on from the prevailing generation to the younger one. So we just want to take pole position to
And
capitalize on that.
I want you guys both to talk about how you guys met and why you complement each other so much. I mean, it's almost like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, you work perfectly together.
I mean, yes, Francoise, again, European. I think what really, the nexus that connects us is obviously the European connection, but ultimately our skill sets complement each other. She has a great pedigree in working with big corporate companies and Disney, and to name one and many more. So in terms of the corporate structure and strategy, she's absolutely proficient in that. My skill set is more on the vision. The three things I usually kind of work off is first and foremost, I call it the adventure capital in terms of what is the overall vision? What are we trying to accomplish?
Sure.
And second one is the human capital, is who are the people that you need to achieve the goal, the vision, whatever it is required to achieve that objective. That's specifically where Francois is coming into. And the third bit is the financial capital, which essentially I call the jet fuel. It gets us from one place to the other. So Francois definitely fits into the human capital aspect in terms of her background in the corporate world, the structure, the culture, etc., to be able to allow us to strategically meet our objectives.
Outstanding. We're going to pull up your website, and as we scroll down the website, I love the name Millbank Capital. How did that come about?
Millbank is on the River Thames in London. It's an area in the city of London. As you can see, that's the foreign exchange in the city of London. I grew up in the city of London. Nice. So I just thought, somewhere close to home that reminds me of home. Millbank just got a good, nice ring to it.
It does. It's classy. Right?
It is classy.
Even for, an American who doesn't recognize that,
Exactly.
the location, they
And
say
the
that.
reference to London is
Absolutely.
very important too.
You have to remain rooted.
Absolutely.
Major financial center.
I want to pull up, you have a core values page on your website. And as we scroll down that, I want you to talk about, your pillars and what that means to you.
Absolutely. Excellence. We are committed to excellence, as it says, the quality and the pursuit, the best that we can do. I mean, we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. However, we are committed to that pursuit of excellence.
Sure.
That's critical in everything that we do. Trust also, it's a major factor in order for people to give us their resources in terms of financial capital for us to deploy. They have to trust us. In order for someone to sell their business to us, they also equally have to trust us. We trust in each other
Sure.
implicitly. So being able to give people a sense of trust is vitally important to us.
Entrepreneurship.
Seeing round the corner, seeing beyond the obvious, seeing the trends that are underway. A lot of companies have fallen victim to the lack of vision and foresight.
Sure.
So scrupulously always questioning, what are we doing? How are we doing it? Is it still relevant? And what's going to be relevant in the next coming years? So we really embrace that spirit of entrepreneurship in everything that we do, and in how we work. Integrity is another huge one. We do what we say we're going to do when we're going to do it. Oftentimes people only give good news, but we like to give bad news because things do go wrong.
Sure.
Things that we don't account for or we didn't see what's going to happen. In those times, we make sure we pick up the phone to our stakeholders and explain to them exactly what's happening. That way, that enables and gets them to even trust us more. And we're not shy, we're not running away from sharing bad news. We will always be transparent and open with what we do. And Stewardship, absolutely. Being stewards of what I call public property, essentially, and also private property. Mm-hmm. Again, as I said, when people give us their resources, we now become stewards of that, and they expect us to manage those resources thriftily and deploy it in a way that obviously is going to bring a return back for our LPs and also for our companies as well. But equally, same thing for the businesses that we acquire. These are businesses that, this is the baby of certain individuals. They've grown this for the last 20, 30 years. They want to entrust that to people that they know would be able to carry on their legacy. So being stewards of what I call public property in the sense of it doesn't actually belong to us, We're simply custodians. We manage it as if it's ours, and we are able to grow that and take it to the next level.
Okay, Francoise, what's one of your favorite client stories so far?
So far, we're very excited at making an acquisition of a biotechnology lab. There's also molecular lab for research and development enterprise that is poised for growth in the area of genomics and genetics. And these areas are very, very enticing to us because it will make a tremendous impact in the society, in the world, through branching out to developing predictive medicine, preventive medicine too, and branch out to other type of industries in terms of agronomics and also animal protection and well-being. So for us, it fits perfectly the criteria of investment that we want to do. So I'm very, very passionate about it.
And we've had a chance to visit before the show, and I can tell that you both have a really kind spirit about you, and that's so important because when you're talking about business, it can't be more personal than somebody's own company. Oh, yeah. So often when you're coming in, you're dealing with family dynamics. Why don't you speak a little bit about, I'm going to call it bedside manner. Why is that so important that you bring in a private equity firm who knows how to navigate family dynamics?
Yeah, absolutely. That's certainly something that we encounter quite regularly. You have a first generation who's built the business, second or third generation, especially in this dispensation, has zero interest in taking over that company because they want to go and do TikTok or be a social media influencer instead. So that leaves a business owner, entrepreneur, or boomer in a predicament. What do I do with my company that I've grown? I've been jaded, or quite frankly, I just want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. That's where we come in, to be able to be an exit for those individuals. Individuals who don't have a succession plan in place. We can come in, and ultimately what we actually prefer to do is to actually give those baby boomers bites of the second apple in terms of staying on if they really have the vim and the vigor to be able to continue to grow that company in a new setting and taking a new direction, using new strategies and new processes and systems. That's where we can come in to do that. So that's ultimately the value add and the value proposition that we have for baby boomer businesses, owners rather.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in the final couple minutes, I want you to talk to the person out there who thinks, okay, I might need to meet with these two because I like them. I like what they stand for. Yeah. What's the process like? Do you have a face-to-face or a Zoom call, or how does it work?
Yeah, we have a face-to-face. I'm definitely old school in that fashion. I think is you can't substitute meeting someone and feeling the energy and looking into the eyes and establishing if this is someone that you want to work with. So we're looking for three categories of people at the moment to engage with. One are the baby boomer business owners that I mentioned, institutions, family offices, high net worth individuals that want to invest money. That's very important because the alternative space as an asset class now has blown up over the last few years. Sure. It accounts for 22 trillion in terms of assets deployed across the world. So we're looking at individuals who want to yield better returns in terms of the capital. And also, we're looking for guys who are what I call legacy investors, who want to leave a legacy behind through the resource that they have. And placing money with guys like us who are thrifting what we do. We have a focus and a drive to have impact through the businesses that we acquire and operate. They can leave a legacy through us in that sense. And thirdly is industry professionals. It takes, as I said, the human capital is a huge aspect in terms of what we do. So we want to engage and work with other people that are in our sector, in our business, that can add value. We're looking for analysts and various, we have opportunities for various professionals in the business. So absolutely, we want to engage with people, explore synergy and hopefully synchronize that synergy as long as it fits in with our objectives and move things forward.
Outstanding. Francoise, let's give you the final word. What would you like to leave people with?
People should contact with us and immediately don't be afraid to take our connection through our profile and find us and call us and explain to us what challenges you are facing. I would also add to what you said, Carl, that we have a lot of vetted entrepreneurs that are in the baby boomers range that are also contacting us, and that is very, very beneficial to us and beneficial to them too. So.
Absolutely. Well, you guys have been amazing guests. Congratulations on your success. We're going to end with the website, which is millbank-co.com. Thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.